Welcome to part 4 of my Nordic Road Trip series. It's 2:30 in the morning. I have finally arrived in Jämtland, here at the place where I will sleep tonight. And for the last hour I was very worried because my car made such weird noises while driving. But I think I just found a reason for that. Look. By the way, this place here is very special to me. I've been here a couple of times before, and I'll show it to you in more detail tomorrow, and then I will also tell you something about it. Although I was constantly thinking about the noise of my car, I felt also very tired from driving, so the most important thing for now was to get some sleep. Good night. Luckily, I found this sleeping mask in my car yesterday. I thought I had forgotten it at home, but then all of a sudden I just found it somewhere in my car. And what's it about this place? I was here before. The first time I went here was in November 2021. And back then everything was covered in snow. I parked here, stayed for the night, and then I saw some very beautiful northern lights on the horizon. Then I went back last autumn, and then I also saw beautiful northern lights on the horizon. So this is basically my personal northern lights place. It's a very open area, so you can see everything, and that really makes it perfect for watching northern lights. I still don't know what to do about that thing. I think something rusted through and it fell off, and now it's still loosely hanging in there. I was just recording this shot of my car driving by to show you the noise, but of course once I want to show it to you, it's not there. However, let's try one. Since I was only a 1 hour drive away from the friends I wanted to visit, I decided to drive to their place first and then solve the issue with my car. Wow, look at that brave insect on my GoPro. I'm driving 80 kilometers per hour like the speed limit demands it, and it's still sitting on there. Speed limit is 100 now, and it's still on the camera. That's it. That's the thing. So I talked to my friends and they approved what I already had assumed. This thing just rusted through, but it's not so important for the car. So yeah, I just removed it, and now the noise will be gone while driving and just makes me feel much better. Now this part here isn't so much protected anymore from dirt and water, but that's how it is. Finally the car problem was solved, and I could focus on what I really wanted to experience here. The most magical time that Swedish summers have to offer. Night. Of course I had seen many bright nights before on this journey, but now were the days around midsummers, which is the very brightest time of the year. Luckily my host set a boat, which gave us the opportunity to enjoy these nights on the lake. The pureness of the surrounding nature combined with the atmospheric light made this whole situation feel like landing a spaceship on another planet. We were surrounded by a world of beauty and wonder. Okay, we're on a little fishing trip now. These long bright summer nights are perfect for that. Even if you don't catch anything, but it's just a beautiful experience to be out here in the middle of a lake. It just started raining a little bit, but not that intense, so it's okay. Pikes are the easiest to catch because they're very aggressive and bite into everything that could be prey. But this one was a bit too small to eat it, so we released it again. I can't emphasize enough how much I love these bright nights, and I'll probably say it many more times. Please note that this was shot around 1 AM, so this was the darkest it got. Although the rain was a bit annoying, I found it way too beautiful to be mad about it. That night I took so many aesthetic shots that editing this video became a real challenge because there was so much raw footage to deal with. The soft light at this time is paradise for everyone who is into videography and photography. After a while the rain stopped and the boat floated over the glassy surface of the lake. Sometimes I feel like I want to escape into the world of fantasy or science fiction stories, but in moments like this I realize I'm already living on a planet that is like that. Due to the weather, every day on this planet is different. Or should I say, every night? "20 hours later we went on another fishing trip, and this time we were accompanied by orange light. Wow, completely different weather situation today. Beautiful. Many situations in life seem completely normal at the moment they happen, and only afterwards we realize how amazing it was. Isn't this the purest form of life? Being in the countryside, enjoying the beautiful surroundings, and at the same time doing something that brings food to the table. This is how living on this planet can look like. And we live at a time where we get to experience it like never before. Exploring lakes in motorized boats. What other world could I possibly want to escape to? I often imagine my life getting better in the future, but maybe I'm already there. Once the boat fell quiet, we were surrounded by the noises of the night. What a hidden part of the world. While we all lived our lives throughout the years, this reed has also softly swayed in the wind. The creatures that live in the water swam around too and ate each other. And all of that just went on, hidden from our eyes, while we paid or wrote bills, vacuumed our floors, and just got older. But at this moment, both realities met each other. Yes, just tiny bits of each other, but for more than that, almost all encounters in life are just too short. Another night turned into morning and made us return back home to go to sleep right before the sun was rising. I was glad that I had stopped by in Jämtland, which is one of the most beautiful parts, if not the most beautiful part of Sweden for me personally. Many of the memories I created here will stay with me for a long time, but they were also just a tiny part of a bigger journey that covered so much more. Since it had finally rained some days ago, the trees that lined the road were green and juicy when I continued my trip a few days later. Okay, it was a very nice time in Jämtland, but now it's of course time again to continue the journey. Into what direction? Of course further north. I'm still in Jämtland, but Lapland is waiting. Right now I'm in a little traffic jam, but right now we can continue. Nice. I was driving until late at night, constantly pulled towards the horizon by the sun. My next destination was a massive mountain in the Swedish-Norwegian border region, but before I went there, I visited this round thing in the middle of nowhere, which is very special because it generates an echo when you talk inside of it. You won't believe what just happened. I just met two guys, they had also parked their car down there. And they knew me. They knew me from my German YouTube videos. And they came to this exact place because of one of my videos. Because last year I also made a video about this place. Crazy. Imagine making a video about this place and then coming back and actually meeting people who were inspired to come here by your video. That's a really weird feeling, but I'm also happy to meet people who get inspired by the videos. Alright, time to leave this place. Let's drive to the mountain. I just noticed that the raven feather is gone. You know, the black raven feather that I found in Småland. It was attached here, but seems like the wind blew it away. Now it's somewhere else, somewhere in Sweden. But that's how it is, that's okay. There's already a nice mountain over there, but that's not the mountain I'm heading to. But it's only a 20 minutes drive from here. So let's continue. That's the car of the guys I met earlier. They told me that they would come here. I just took a little nap, so I'm still not fully awake, but it was just necessary. Let's check out the lake. This is also bear territory. This is such an incredible place to be, but you know what's even more incredible? To be up there on the top of the mountain. The only problem is the weather situation is changing a little bit. I've heard some thunder noises in the distance, and I'm also really tired still. For the last couple of hours I've been laying around doing nothing, and I also have a headache. I almost never have a headache, but right now I have a headache. But yeah, however, let's just give it a try. I don't know if there's gonna be a thunderstorm. I don't know if I will be able to make it, but at least I want to try. So I'm packing some stuff in my backpack right now, and after that, wow! After that we can. This looks so incredible. This is an additional motivation for me. Do you see that little piece of sunlight shining on the mountain wall right now? Wow, this looks so beautiful. Imagine how beautiful it must look from up there. Right now it's around 11 p.m, which is pretty late already. But however, this is gonna be a night hike. Wow, let's just film this from a little closer look at that. This is so beautiful. Wow. Now I want to go up to the top. I mean, as I said, I don't know if I will make it, but at least let's try. Okay, so now I'm at the camp of the guys that I told you about earlier. They set up their tents here. I guess they will go to sleep now, but I will try to hike up the mountain. Okay, also gute Nacht. Ciao. Wow, these colors are so beautiful. Look at that beach. That would also be a beautiful spot to camp. But the time of rest is not now. Not for me. Hey, this is only the beginning. We haven't seen anything so far. That's the mountain, and I'm still down here. And it's already incredibly beautiful. The path is getting a little steeper now. Lots of fallen birch trees everywhere. It's midnight now, so the next day has already begun. Down here the fjell birches were still pretty big, but the higher I went, the smaller they got, and the forest gave way to rockier terrain. Nice view on the lake from here, and up there I can already see a little bit of snow. After a while I reached the creek that flows down the mountain, so I finally got to drink some water, while dozens of mosquitoes drank my blood. Yes, I love being dramatic. The tricky thing about the bright nights was that I had messed up my sleep pattern in the last couple of days. Although I was completely exhausted at this point, I still put a lot of energy into taking these shots, for which I placed the camera on the ground and walked back. But in the end I'm glad I did that, otherwise this video wouldn't even exist. Isn't that majestic? The mountain looking down at me. Yes, the mountain was constantly watching me, and that also kept me going. Just like the indescribable beauty that I was surrounded with. To be able to later share it with the world, I was determined to not give up. But at some point I started having doubts. I'm beginning to wonder what I'm even doing here. It's almost 1:30 in the middle of the night. I'm going up a very steep hill. I need some sleep. I have a headache, but at least it's beautiful. Maybe I just try to sleep in this position right here. It's very windy here, which means there are no mosquitoes at this spot. We shall see. The best spot to get some sleep would be up there, but to set up a camp there I need to get there first, so we shall see. Oh, edible herbs. I know these herbs from Germany. They taste sour, but it's a very delicious sour. Somehow I will try to make it up there. I once heard a shaman-like guy say something like, nature always lets that plant grow in front of you which you need the most in your current situation. And I do believe that. Reality is a hologram that manifests right in front of our eyes. And it can change any second. But it changes in such an intelligent, weird way that we don't get it, or that we always find a rational explanation for why things are the way they are. As I started talking about this topic, I felt relief, because this is one of the things that I'm interested in the most. But I was always scared that people who are not open to such concepts would criticize me for talking about it publicly. Or should I rather say, I was scared of creating the experience of being criticized for that. But up here, none of that mattered, and I was too tired and too far away from anyone to be worried. My car is somewhere down there. Finally, I made it to the area that was flat enough to set up a camp. An hour earlier, I had serious doubts that I would make it, but this just shows that somehow we can always find some extra strength in us if we really need it. I remember this lake from the last time that I came here. Look at these beautiful little flowers everywhere. My head feels like it's gonna explode any second. But I hope that I will get some sleep now. See you later. Good morning. This place is perfect. My headache is gone completely. I didn't sleep that well, but I slept a few hours, and that's absolutely enough. I feel so refreshed and so much more energized right now. It was really good to come up here and to sleep here. This whole lake or pond or whatever is basically the spring of the little river that flows down the mountain. Look what a pure world we were given. Whether you are aware of it or not, you live in that world too. Something about this place made me feel very much at home. I'm sure it also has to do with our ancestors who roamed through such tundra-like lands as nomadic hunters. This really must be one of the most peaceful places in the world. And it's certainly one of the most peaceful places that I have ever been to. Here the pond turns into the creek. Now I have to decide whether I go up to the top of the mountain or go down to the valley again. And what I will do is I will go down to the valley again because I am already late for an appointment and I don't want to get even later. I will now drive further north to a friend of whose house I will take care of, and this is going to be great, but I have to hurry up. But the view is already pretty amazing from here. It's also a bit of a challenge to hike down here. Look how steep it is. But I like it because it's adventurous. Wow! This just looks so good. I think this looks a bit surreal almost. The trees and everything. Hiking down is almost more exhausting than hiking up. Wow, look at this frog! He's hiking down together with me. I haven't expected to meet a frog up here. Hey, how's it going? Now that I'm seeing this, I regret a little bit not going up to the top. It really is really spectacular up there. Like really. But this time it's just not possible. Hopefully somewhen in the future again. Little did I know that my next chance to hike to the top would come sooner than I thought. Finally back at the lake. I'm a bit exhausted now, but I know what to do against that. After the plunge woke me up again, a 5-hour drive was ahead of me. First reindeer of this journey, hello. In northern Scandinavia, reindeers are everywhere. They roam freely through nature, but are domesticated by the reindeer herders of the indigenous Sami people. So they're used to humans and are unafraid of cars. Sometimes, I have to say, a little too unafraid. Later I also managed to film this moose, which was one of 3 moose that I saw on the whole journey, all of them in Sweden. 2 weeks later, welcome back. For the last 2 weeks I've been taking care of my friend's house, but not only that, I've also been taking care of this sweet creature over there. Her name is Ronja. Ronja, come. Komm her. Komm. Hey, komm hierher. Yeah, fine. Ah. It was a nice experience to live 2 weeks with a dog. I didn't film anything because I spent most of the time being inside editing videos. But of course we always went for walks and stuff. And so I just got to know what it's like to have a dog. Oh. That was just a fish, but it's faster than hair. Whoa! Come on, yeah, gamer. Come. Come. Now it's time to leave. But of course she doesn't want to. She enjoys being outdoors. But here she is. The days of house sitting were over. But instead of leaving the area right away, I still spent some time with my friend. One sunny night I got Jämtland flashbacks when we went on a fishing trip. To me, fish are very strange and very fascinating animals. And despite that, I'm a predator who eats them. Not this particular perch though. It was so big and strong that we wanted it to reproduce and remain a predator instead of being prey. But many others became a meal that night. The big dichotomy of existence that neither me nor you can escape. Everything comes at a price. Such a beautiful day, the sun is shining, flowers everywhere, and finally the journey continues. For you it hasn't been such a long while, but for me it has almost been 3 weeks. Because after my friend returned, I still stayed at his house for a few days. And now, yeah, the journey finally continues. I can't believe it. And until now, this road trip has been a lot like visiting someone here, visiting someone there. But this was the last person that I will visit in a long while. And that means that from now on, the journey really begins. Yeah, and I can't wait for driving basically wherever I want. And right now I should continue towards north, but I will actually drive south. And there's a special reason for that. I will return to a place where I've been before during this road trip, and you will soon find out why. I am back at the mountain. 3 weeks ago I was too exhausted to make it to the top of this mountain, and now I want to try it again. And there's a very special reason for that. These are the final hours of my 20s. Tomorrow I will turn 30, and I would love it if the very first thing that I would see as a 30-year-old would be the amazing view from up there. It's already 10 PM, so I have to hurry up a little bit. Let's go.